Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Wednesday Watering with Foss and Fern. I'm Foss, your local plant stylist. And Wednesday's the day that I pour myself some coffee, I walk around my house, I water my plants, I think about stuff, and I invite you to join me. Won't you join me? This week, I want to talk to you about the dormant season because we are coming into our houseplants are coming into their dormant season in the Northern Hemisphere. We are entering fall. We're in fall, entering winter, and this is the time that plants rest. And that is very important. A few weeks ago, I was talking about how I shift some of my plants around in the transition from summer to winter because some of my windows don't get enough light in the winter. And I got a few questions about that. And then I also saw an ad for a grow light. And the tag on the grow light was avoid dormancy. Wow. And we don't want to do that. That is not good. Grow lights are fine. I use grow lights for sure, but not in an attempt to bypass dormancy. That implies that dormancy is not a good thing. And it is. It is very important. The dormant season is just as important as the growing season. The two are in balance together and cannot exist without the other. If a plant is in constant production state and doesn't get rest, it'll burn out. And that is not what we want for a long-term relationship with our plants. That might be what happens in certain grower situations, like your big box growers where you come in and there's grow lights and there's fertilizer all the time and the plants are just like glowing with abundance, and then you bring them home and they freak out because that's not a sustainable state to be in. And that's okay. Let's let our plants rest. Let's let ourselves rest a little bit. In nature, the dormant season is incredibly important. The plants are experiencing the drops in temperature, they're experiencing the drop in light, and they're most likely, depending on where they're from, but they're most likely experiencing some change in moisture in the air and in the soil. You know, it rains more or less in winter or summer. So those are all, the plants have adapted to that, have grown in that for millions of years. Just because we're taking them out of that into our homes does not mean that they don't need that system of production and rest. It's incredibly important. And in the natural environment, you know, there's a lot of death and decay in fall and winter. And it's cold and the plants burrow down, focus on their roots. They drop everything that's extraneous, that's not necessary. They focus on their roots, they fortify, they rest, and that all that decay in the spring becomes the nutrients that they need to grow into the spring and summer. It's a balance. It's a dance that we do not want to take away from our plants. It is our job to help ease them into the dormant season, to let them know that the dormant season is here and it's okay to chill out, take a rest. They're going to notice that the light is different. You want to make sure they're still getting enough light to survive the winter. You don't want them in complete darkness for the winter, but they don't need to be in the same amount of light as they were in the summer. They're not going to notice the temperatures because they're inside and our homes are, temperature controlled. So they're not noticing that temperature, but you can help them. Another clue that you can give them is by easing off on the fertilizing, because that's not naturally happening in the fall and the winter. That's happening in the spring when everything is melting and the rain is coming down and trickling down and giving them that nutrients, and the soil is becoming fortified with all of the life that was happening around them. Life is happening around us, and it is okay to slow down and take a breath and rest. So that's what I'm thinking about today, and that is what I am doing today, quite frankly. Winter is turned on here. I got my cozy sweater on. I got my coffee. I'm going to take a few deep breaths. All right, that's it for this week. I'll see you next time.